How is personality studied and assessed? Most students are really turned off when it comes to measurement and statistics, as well as some instructors, but it can be very interesting when it's about you. When we try to measure something, we often rely on interpretation. That can be difficult because we all have our own biases and our own judgments, and we interpret things differently. Here's an example. If you take a Rorschach Inkblot test and you see a card that is red and black in a variety of shapes, you will think it looks like a frog, whereas I may see it as a donkey that's been run over by a car. We all look at things differently. When we study personality, we have to consider many things. We have to look at what happens when people change or when our environments influence us. To make sure that personality assessments are reliable, we must look at the underlying influence that can affect behavior, as well as look at the person over time. Personalities can change because of life-changing transitions or traumatic events. Another factor that we must consider when assessing personality is whether or not the test is valid. There are all kinds of forms of validity, just like reliability. Sometimes we have to use different types of validity to assess various traits. This is something that test creators and administrators really pay attention to. Not only do we worry about reliability and validity, psychologists also worry about the problem of bias in personality tests. There are biases in ethnicity as well as gender. You will see that older white men developed a lot of these personality theories. Older white men don't always know what's best for other cultures, ethnicities, or women. There are lots of different kinds of personality tests, as you can see just by doing an internet search. There are self-report tests where a person answers a basic questionnaire. There's biological measures like an MRI or a PET. There are behavioral observations like assigning someone to wear a beeper and write down what they're doing each time that beeper goes off. Interviews give us a lot of rich information too. Projective tests like the Rorschach are very popular, and we get to access those unconscious motives or concerns. Experiments let us researchers learn about inferences of relationships, and case studies give us an in-depth study of one person. We don't want to seriously assess personality through these things like astrology or palm reading, nor do we pay much attention to handwriting analysis or numerology. They're lots of fun, but not scientifically accurate enough for us to get a valid or reliable picture of someone's personality. Chances are my daily horoscope could apply to you, and you don't even know what my sign is. So today, go look in your paper under Sagittarius and see if that applies to you. Ethically, we should be aware that every test has some room for error, whether it be our interpretation, our administration, or error of the actual information itself. We need to have a basic understanding of who designed the test and what cultural implications it may have to the test taker.